Okay, business analytics is a specialization that has been given to the students who have in the MBA second year, and one of the course in business analytics that is BA301, which deals with the different types of modeling techniques. Before going into the different types of modeling techniques, a brief introduction of business analytics is given first. Okay, today we'll be taking a class on business analytics. It's a kind of introduction class of business analytics. So, what is actually business analytics? Actually, business analytics is a subset of data analytics. And what is data analytics? Data analytics is the use of data, information technology, statistical analysis, quantitative methods, and mathematical and computer-based models. So, important thing. What are the important things? One of the important things is data. We must have data, because with the data, when we process the data, we retrieve the information, and there are certain information technology tools, statistical tools that are required to analyze the data and finally ultimately not only some statistical tools, but certain quantitative methods, certain optimization methods are also there. So all of them are required to analyze the data and make better decision through data analytics, and that helps the manager to gain improved insight about their business operations and make better fact-based decisions. As I have said in earlier classes that the basic job of MBA is managers. Your objective is to become managers. So basic job of managers is to make decisions, to take decisions, to make decisions. So to make decisions, the most important things is, if you have the information, proper guided information if you have with you, then you can make a better decision, you can take better decisions. And for that you need to have some data. With the data, and if you analyze the data, then only you can with the help of some statistical tools and some mathematical models, optimization models, you can make better decisions, and with that you can utilize resources better. So that is why business analytics is a subset of data analytics. Next, now what is business analytics? So business analytics applications are in the field of management of customer relationship. So customer relationship is one of the most important facets of today's business, that customers is the king, and how to keep the customers well informed, and how to keep a better relationship with the customers so that the customers can come back, and what is their want, what is their need. Those things can be analyzed using business analytics, and that can help in deciding what kind of customers that are to be kept brought for the business. And customers, as I said, the customers are the king. So if we can serve the customers better, serve the customers well, then your business will grow and your profit will improve. Then the second point is the financial and marketing activities. So if you do the analysis well, if you have the prior informations, earlier knowledge, what are the different marketing activities are needed to be done, that kind of prediction, future planning is to be done using this business analytics, statistics and data. With the help of data and statistical and analytical tools, we can use we can analyze what the competitors are doing, what could be the future future planning, and what are the how the finance can be arranged. So these are the things that can be done using business analytics. Then supply chain management. Yes, supply chain nowadays supply chain is one of the biggest part in marketing. Marketing people has to keep a well informed supply chain process, so that the processed goods, the finished goods can reach to the customers easily, and customers can give feedback, and from with the feedback after the feedback is analyzed, some improvements can be done in the products. So supply chain means from the starting from the beginning, starting from the collection of materials, starting from the collection of raw materials, then finishing the after that the process is done and the finished goods is produced, and then the finished goods are to be reached to the customer. So the whole process is depending upon the supply chain. So business analytics helps us in managing the supply chain. Then human resource planning, obviously, how the what is the attrition rate, why people are leaving, what are the causes of changing the jobs for the different employees. So those things can be analyzed using business analytics applications. Then pricing decisions means what is the cost of the materials, how the other parts are affected, other materials, other cost components could be incorporated, and through the analysis of this data, and what are the competitors doing, what are the pricing of the competitors. So all these kinds of analysis helps us in making the decision of product pricing. And sport team game strategies, right? Means it's a team game. Everybody is for a company. All the different departments like marketing, finance, HR. It's they work as a team, and how the strategical means what are the business strategies, or how the information go about through all the department, and business analytics helps in performing the better management, and doing the better analysis of how the team is doing, and so that the improvement for future can be done. So next we can go to the third slide. Yes, continuing with what is business analytics. Importance of business analytics. There is a strong relationship of business analytics with profitability of business, revenue of business, and shareholders return. So how profitability is related to business analytics, as we have said, through analysis we can understand how the business is doing, what is the in different areas, whether some improvement is required or not in certain areas, whether some sales improvement or some push in sales, or some strategical change is required, some incentive is to be given to the distributors or not. So those things can be understood through business analytics, and that will help in profitability of the business. Then revenue of the business means whether the business is performing well or not, whether the revenue that is being generated or is sufficient or not, or something else is needed to be done or not. And because shareholders are one of the main investors in the business, so whether we shareholders get their return back, the money worth or not, whether they get some profit or not, whether there's share of profit or not. So all these things can be analyzed through business analytics. Then business analytics enhances the understanding of data. Yes, because we have several data set of several weeks or several years, and that similar kind of data, looking at the data itself, the people may understand what are the differences, whether and if, by plotting the data, the people who are analyzing the data can understand whether the business is doing or well, right, whether it's going in the right track or not. So just looking at the data, because doing the similar things again and again, just looking at data, some information can be retrieved. Then it is
so in with this we can understand that next which month of year we have increased in sale.
Yes, right. Sometimes through with the data set we can say which in a particular year which month the particular product sale is increased or which month's particular product sale is decreased, and whether that has been happening for the year after a year or not. Then what are the cause for that? Those things can be analyzed through the business analytics part. Okay. Then business analytics is vital for business to remain competitive. Yes. So competition in the market is always there. You are not the only one who is producing the product. You have the competitors, and what the competitors are doing, you are also analyzing their product. What is the content of the product? What is the price? They are also doing the same, so that you are doing your research and development. They are doing their research and development, and they are also analyzing your data. So everybody is doing their bit, and they are trying to improve their product so that they can reach to more customers. So that's the competition is increased, and that's how the customers are also benefited due to the more and more development of the product. Then finally, the business analytics enables creation of informative reports. Yes, creation of informative reports. The reports that have been generated has to be informative. Trying to retrieve more and more information, so that gather more and more information, so that those information can be used in future, so that the product can be improved, and so that the customers can be satisfied. As I said again and again, that customers is the king. So satisfaction of the customers is, and thus the relationship with the customers can be improved. So let's go to the next part. Yeah, what are the scopes of business analytics? The scope is descriptive analysis, that uses data to understand past and present. Yes, descriptive analysis with the past data, time series data that we are talking about. Maybe we are having the data for the last 2-3 years. So that, as you are saying, the data that data helps us to find out what is at which month of the year the sale is more, which month of the year the sale is less, and what is the cause. So those kind of data, old data and time series data helps us to understand what happened in the past and what is happening at present. Then predictive analysis, that's the most important part. That's what our objective is to do, that analyze past performance, and with that we want to predict what is the future. Past and analyzing the past and present performance and the past and present demand, we would like to predict what could happen in the future. So that is what is called predictive analysis. And prescriptive analysis uses optimization technique, means there are several decisions that are to be made in future, and you have to take that best possible decision that optimizes your effort, that optimizes means that gives the best result. So prescriptive means after prediction you have to prescribe a particular decision. There could be several possibilities, but you have to choose one of the course of the action, and that particular prescription has to be done through the process of optimization. Optimization will tell you which decision would give you the best possible result. Okay?
So, sir,
Yes.
It is like first it is happened in 3 steps.
Yes. First step is to analyze what happened in the past and present. Then,
Happened in the
past and present.
Second
Then,
point is predict the future.
with analyzing the past and present, you have to predict the future, and in predict the future there are some possibilities. Out of the possibilities, you have to choose, you have to prescribe one of the possibilities, one of the course of the action that you have to take. There could be several possibilities, several course of actions that could be taken, but you have to choose, you have to decide which action is to be taken. So that is the prescriptor. Yes, which is the best, and that seems to be that the analysis will tell that is the best option that has to be taken. So this is what is called the prescriptive analytics. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we go to the next part. So there are some more scopes of business analytics. Retail markdown decisions. So most department stores clear seasonal inventory by reducing prices. Yes. The question is when to reduce the price and by how much. As you know, when there is more stock and the stocks are piling up, because people know that unless the things are being sold, the stocks, unless it is being cleared, it cannot be, some new things cannot be taken. So in a departmental store, there are lots of things that are there. So they try to clear the seasonal inventory. Certain things that by reducing the price, they give bulk discount. If you purchase in bulk, then the cost becomes less. Now it is important to decide when to reduce the price and how much. Obviously, they do not want to. They do not want to waste any money, and they do not want to lose any money. So, keeping the things in mind, it is an important decision to make. So, what is the amount of price that they want to reduce and when to reduce? So, those things can be done using business analytics. Then, in this case, the descriptive analysis will help. This is a particular example in the previous example that we are talking about. That examining the historical data for similar products, that is price, unit sold, advertising. So those things, as I've said, the previous data is already there. So they can check that examine the historical data. So when the sale is more, when the price has been less, and through that predict sales based on the price. So that is the predictive part. And they know if they reduce the price, the certain products will be sold more. And predictive analytics is to find the best set of pricing and advertising to maximize sales revenue. So these are the three different in case of. So when to reduce the price and how much to reduce the price. That is the objective of the objective. So for that, what they do the descriptive analytics. So they look at the past and present data. When the historical data means last 3, 4 years, 5 years of the similar, what was the price, what are the units that have been sold, and what are the cost of advertising and all that. Then they predict what could be the sales based on the price and the revenue, because they already have the similar kind of data. And finally they choose that particular price, that best sets of pricing and advertising to maximize sales revenue, so that maximum things can be cleared out and the revenue can be generated, the revenue can be returned back. They can get money back from the investment that they have done, the things that is already the things that are already there. So they can sell and clear out the inventory, seasonal inventory. So that's how they do it. So this is an example of the descriptive analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics that we have already told about. So let's go to the next part. Data for business analytics. Data is the collected facts and figures. Database is the collection of computer files that contains the data. So these are the important aspects, and information is the processed data. After that we analyze the data, we retrieve the information after we analyze the data. Generally we in case of a business we use primary data. Primary data means the data that has been collected for our own use, and sometimes secondary data is also required for, say, the competitors data, what the competitors price, what is the competitors product details. So those are the secondary data. But product related data for my particular product and my departmental store and the what is the sales and all everything related to my business is the primary data of mine, and everything related to the others business is secondary related to me. বুঝতে পেরেছো? So both the data are important to analyze. Then those data is stored somewhere, that is called the collection of files, that is called the database. It is stored in different files containing the data, and that is called the database. And after we analyze the data in the database, then the information is retrieved. So analysis of data is important to retrieve the information. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, next we go to yes, the metrics are used to quantify the performance. Metrics means in case of Excel that we use the kind of data that data in rows and columns. Then measures are numerical values of the metrics. Discrete metrics involve counting on time or not on time. So these are the different types of data in business analytics. So right now we এটা আমাদের আপাতত দরকার নেই, so just pause it. এটা discuss what are the different types of analytics that are there. The types of analytics that are there and the types of decision models. So one type of analytics is the decision model. A model is an abstraction or representation of real system, idea or object. As I have said, in case of optimization, what we do, like when we express the transportation model or in this case in business analytics we use simulation model. Generally we use simulation model, or model actually means the mathematical way of representing things, mathematical way of representing real life, the real life problems, how we can mathematically model it, mathematically write the problems, the difficulties in such a way so that some mathematical analysis could be employed, and so some mathematical solutions can be obtained through that. So real life systems are quite complex systems, and explaining them mathematically is not a very easy job to do. We start with a simpler system first, and then we incorporate more and more constraints. Like think about an example like how an aeroplane could be built. Because actually building an aeroplane is a difficult process, it's a complex process, but how it will behave while going in the air, and what are the temperature, pressure, air pressure, and how it will behave, how the air pockets will behave, how the weather will affect the movement of the aeroplane, that cannot be done sitting in that is unknown. But through the data collection of throughout the years, how the during the flight of the other plane flight of the planes, so those information has been gathered, and those type of data is analyzed to ultimately finally and mathematically that is been modeled, and then finally the behavior, the production, the aerodynamics of the aeroplanes are being made. Then the second part is what is called a model. Then capture the most important features during the model. While making the model, we need to define what are the most important features, what are the most important characteristics of that particular model, and then it can be written in a verbal description, a visual display, or a mathematical formula, or a spreadsheet presentation. So models could be, it could be some picture, it could be some prototype of certain things, it could be mathematically written way, or it could be a spreadsheet or presentation that describes the given problem or given system or the idea, or actually, or could be the object that we are trying to achieve. So there are different way of making the models. So it is always easier to understand and explain if something is there in front of you, and some visual display or mathematical formula if we have in front of us. Then like take this particular example, that this is a spreadsheet and a figure of sales, where the x-axis, in the x-axis there are weeks, and in the y-axis the sales is given. So as you can say that in the beginning the sales was very less, in the week 60, 70, 80 the sale increases, and ultimately 150th week the sale become peak, and the what is the peak of sales is 20,000 units. So like this we can looking at this visual display we can understand what is being happening. So initially it was low, then it picked up, and ultimately after the quite a long period has passed, the sales has peaked. Then another decision model is a decision model is a model used to understand, analyze, or facilitate decision making. Yes, every time a decision making is the ultimate objective. We have to always take the best possible decision, but to that, before that, we need to look out what are the different options that are there. So different options are there. What are the different options that we have? Then we have to analyze each and every option. First we have to understand each and every option. Then we have to analyze what could be the consequence if we take this particular option, and ultimately understanding all the options and analyzing all the options, we have to take the final decision, which option gives you the best, shows you the best possible direction, which option gives you the best possible decision. And this particular decision can be taken with the help of the data, and what are the variables involved in that particular model, and what are the decision variables which can be controlled, and there could be some uncontrollable variables also which you cannot control, the uncontrollable variables which you may not have anything to say on. These are the uncontrollable variables, and the decision variables that are the variables that you can control and that you can take care of. So analyze. You have to, with the help of the data, you can analyze certain things and analyze and take the final decision accordingly. The decision variables can be controlled, and uncontrolled variables will be kept intact as they are. You cannot change those values. Okay.